Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Transformers Age of the Primes Leader Class Megatronus the Fallen. You can see him there in front of his box. Go ahead and put him off the side real quick and take a look at that box. Yes, of course, you got the big old window, and of course, there's Megatronus in both his robot mode and vehicle mode. You got the 38 steps and, you know, more than meets the eye and all that stuff. 8+ Transformers Age of the Primes. Yeah, he's the one of the 13 primes. Yeah, and Hasbro and all that stuff on top here of Megatronus the Fallen and Takara Tomy. And of course, you have a nice bit of artwork there. Again, the robot mode and Transformers and all that. On this side, you have, hey, some of the 13 primes. Going to this weird one for confused people, but turns out this is just supposed to represent Star Convoy / Star Optimus Prime. But people were like, Power Master Optimus? Because that sure does look like Power Master Optimus, which is weird. Who knows? Maybe we're getting a new one soon. Who knows? Yeah, leader class and all that stuff. And down here you have some information, what's included in the box. And of course on the back you have some copyrights and warnings on here. And of course some product shot stuff. But Megatron is looking cool and scary. And of course you have the instructions, which are pretty much mostly straightforward. There was a couple bits which I did not quite get initially because of how they were laid out, but after a while I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. He's actually got a really cool transformation. I'll get into that in a little bit. Yeah, Megatronus, yes, the Fallen. Yeah, of course, the original version, not the weird one from the movies, live action movies. But yeah, this guy showed up way back in Dreamwave initially. Yeah, is this their new thing? It's basically Transformer Satan. So yeah, Transform Satan better to look real kind of evil and intimidating. I think they pulled off that thing. You got a real cool head crest and this like vented, like, you know, almost like a thing on the front of a train, which, you know, has how he's gonna hit you. He's all this glowing yellow, this yellow that's all around. These spots of yellow just really pop on him because he's mostly black and this really nice shade of purple with some bits of this like really kind of odd, kind of almost gunmetalish gray right here. But yeah. You see most of that, you know, again, the yellows really pop, and it almost, again, it looks like there's this fire burning inside him, which kind of makes sense. All this stuff. So you got all this stuff. His feet are kind of, I'm not sure about his feet, though. His feet kind of look just like toes, which kind of unnerve me a little bit. But yeah, it looks generally pretty good. He's got this backpack, which again, it's got some little spiky bits on it right there. And he looks generally pretty good overall. So yeah, Megatronus, yeah, of course, he's kind of a little plain on the box. He's missing some bits, namely, accessories you're supposed to pop on, like this thing right here. It might be like this in the box, you know, like that, but come on, focus. It might be like this in the box. You're supposed to, you know, fold that down, and then that plugs in right here on the back, like this, kind of like a. Well, actually, it looks like a gun, and because it heads off to the side of that, it looks like more like a chimney, which again, you know, I guess a furnace. It almost looks like he is a living furnace. You got this like little missile pod thing, which that just plugs onto his left shoulder, kind of. Goes like this, if I can get it on there, like that. It's supposed to go on there like that, and that makes him look a lot better. And then, of course, he's got his big old honking cannon here, which can, I guess, technically go on either arm, but it's really supposed to go on the right arm, I guess. So, there you go. Yeah, there's all the accessories that he's supposed to have out of the box. Makes him look more like the way he's supposed to. There's more accessories I'll get to in a little bit. But first, some poseability. Now that he's, you know, correct. So head, ball joints, you got left and right, you got up and down, you got a little bit of waggle, very nice and expressive there. His shoulders, you know, do a full 360. This one you have to watch out for the little, I guess, chimney stack. Outward, you got, you know, pretty much, you know, full outward right there. And then the cool thing is, because of how he transforms himself, guess what? He has got a butterfly joint. He's got forward and back right there. The butterfly, that is really cool that's a thing. You got a bicep swivel right there. Elbows can go bend a little more than 90 degrees. And of course, right here at the wrist, you do have a swivel, and also because of transformation, you have a little bit of wiggle right there. I believe it's actually on a ball joint. Fingers can open and close, which is cool. Waist can swivel unhindered. There's no hab crunch, unfortunately. Hips, you do have, this can get out of the way, and the hips can go forward that far and back that far and outward. You have almost a full splits, but not quite, because that right there bangs into the bit right there, so that's a little unfortunate. You have a thigh swivel right there. You also have a knee swivel because of transformation. Knees can go about 90 degrees, maybe a tiny bit more than. And down here at the feet, you do have ankle tilt, and they do have forward and back as well, which is nice. He's got a good, darn good amount of posability. He just looks good. Yeah, this Megatronus here is a standout from the first wave of Age of the Primes for sure already. I don't have the full thing yet, but compared to the first Prime I got, oh my god, he is such a step up. There was one thing I should mention too. There has been reports of a the cracks in the thighs though. Apparently, I'll get into this. Apparently right here, there's a transformation step. You're supposed to do this with the thighs. Right here, I'm sure how I can show this, but right here, there's a little tab right here. Apparently it like snaps into place. You can hear it better on this side. Like that. You can hear it kind of click into place. Apparently it's really loud. You hear the kind of weird snap noise when it goes in. The problem is right here, this tab right here. The tab right here is supposed to go into the little, like, it's supposed to snap in a little. Like you can see there's a little, actually there's also a tab right here as well. I'm not sure, well there's one right there. There's a tab right here. And the solution I found, and this is a good one, which is you're going to have to actually, you know, move it one time, which is a little scary. The first time you move, you're going to hear a loud snapping noise. Hopefully it didn't crack, because apparently a lot of people, this inner piece right here is cracked. What you do is right here is this tab right here that I'm pointing at. You can see you shave off the top bit a little bit. This one's a little too much, honestly. This one is closer to correct. You shave off the top bit of that tab, and if you do it just right, it'll still click into place, but it will no longer, like, you know, kind of have a scary, really loud snapping noise and possibly break, because people have broken there. So out of the box, just might want to do that, a little bit of surgery. You may not have to, but you might, you know, double check it. Yeah, if it sounds really kind of scary, if it feels scary and sounds scary, go ahead and do the surgery. But yeah, it's real quick. You just kind of shave off that bit, the little bit of the top of the tab there, and you should be good. Just at an angle, just shave off at an angle a little bit of the tab, and you should be good. So yeah, as for other accessories, he comes with a sword, a nice sword, which is again gunmetal. You got a black handle there, and this can just in his hand. You have to open his hand up because of how there's that thing at the bottom, so you have to, you know, put it into place like that. And he also comes with this little stick thing, which almost looks like a nightstick, but also it's supposed to top with this thing, which you can see there's these like it's not a standard peg. It's you got see there's little nubs on the ends of the peg, so you have to match that up with the little, you know, the shape of that thing. So goes on like this, and this is rubbery plastic right here. It's painted rubbery plastic, which is a little concerning, but you know, that goes on in his hand like that. You know, so he has another melee weapon on top of his cannon, and he's got 4 flame effects. Which, you know, because if you remember the old Dreamwave comic, he was on fire a lot. And yeah, they'll just plug in, you know, you want to plug in one like right here. Yeah, there's a, you know, use that peg and plug into the peg hole on the side of the shoulder. Same with this one, you know, there's a peg there. See that? That peg's on the side of the shoulder. Make sure, you know, orient the flames properly, because upside down flames make you look silly. And you got these two as well, these two little ones. These just plug into the little peg holes right here if you want. You can peg them, I guess, technically in any 5mm port all along him, but this is the way they're supposed to do it. And that looks really cool, and I really genuinely think that looks really cool. However, unfortunately, these are the typical rubbery plastic we've seen with a lot of these blast effects, and as we discovered, if you leave these blast effects attached too long, they have a tendency to, well, particularly, sometimes they melt plastic, but they also have a tendency to kind of destroy paint. And there is paint on these shoulders. So yeah, basically get those for photos and then take those off. Because unfortunately, unless you're okay with, you know, your Megatronus looking a little melty in particular spots, you're not going to want to have those there, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame, because I'm not sure if there's any way you can fix that. People complain to Hasbro that Hasbro hasn't fixed it yet. I'm not sure you can fix it, you know? I have a weird, distinct feeling that there's a chance that simply that's something that's just, it's a chemical process. And as for weapon storage, of course, back here you can just, you know, peg these in right there if you want. Peg this here, peg this here if you want. And also if you want, really want to, I believe, what was it? There was another weird thing, because they kind of showed it off, like pegging one of these things on, like, on the back of the shoulder instead, and then pegging the gun onto the back. I think that was showed in the instructions. So I got it backwards. What they showed was this still pegging the back right here, but also this, weird enough, you actually there's these side bits, you can peg those into the, you peg these, yeah, these into the, peg into the back there, which is interesting. And then also they showed like angling that forward and whatnot, but I don't know. Also makes them weirdly back heavy. Also you can see right there the Fallen's symbol, but yeah, I don't like to do that. I actually like to have it, you know, right there, because that just looks cooler. So yeah, there you go. Robot mode is fantastic, honestly. The only thing is just the only things at this point, the only negatives are you might have to do a little bit of surgery in the thighs, and the flame effects, unfortunately, because they are rubbery plastic, might do some damage over long term if you leave them and plugged into the figure. But regardless, some comparisons. Here is again, here's the standard of Series 86 Optimus. He's bigger than him. He is bigger than him, which makes sense because he's a leader class, but this is a commander class, but whatever. Here's his previous releases from Power of the Primes. Yeah, the two Power of the Primes versions of Megatronus. I think that's a bit of an upgrade, personally. That one was the one that actually, funny enough, came with the second shuttle blast off they released later, and this was the regular release one. So yeah, there you go. And here he is with the other primes I have so far. Here's Vector Prime, that's the legacy version, and here's Prima Prime right there. And yeah, between these three, he is definitely the best one, for sure. These are two Voyagers, but then this is the leader, so you basically, well, at this point, paying about $20 more. Prices are right as of this recording. Prices are kind of in flux right now, maybe, kind of, sort of. Things are weird. Prices might go up at this point. We're kind of, some places are already charging extra. He's supposed to be $55. Some places are already charging like $60 for liters. I think I saw some place trying to charge $70 for a liter. But regardless, there you go. So yeah, price is fun now, right? Are you tired of winning yet? Because I am. Anyway, so that's Megatronus. So this is robot mode anyway, which is fantastic. So to transform him into his vehicle mode, his tank mode, first you want to kick this and kind of get this, pull this off the arm right there, and pull this thing off, and of course get the weapons, pulled off if they're on in any way. Get all that pulled off and just put off to the side for now. Now, as for transformation from here, what you want to do here is open up the forearms. Open up the forearms, if get in there. Open up the forearm here, which, yeah, there you go. Yeah, open up the forearm, you bring this up and rotate the fist in, close that up. That. Open up the forearm, rotate the fist in, and close it up. There. Go ahead and rotate the forearms like this, and like this. Rotate the arms, biceps like that. Then right here, what you want to do is unpeg this, bring that up right there like that, and then bring this whole assembly. You want to bring this whole chest assembly. You want to bring that down, just kind of bring it out straight down like this. And then this assembly right here with the head and the platform on, you want to bring this right here. There's a bit right here, the hinge right here, because the hinge you used before was this. Now you want to use this hinge, and bring that down like this, and you also rotate the head around like that. Now back here, this bit, what you want to do is then bring these up right here. Yeah, bring these up right here, and these will kind of complete the treads. Again, bring that up, complete the treads. Then untab those, both of those like that. Then bring this part out, rotate it around, and collapse it up like this. See, there's a tab here which will go in the little slot right there on the tread, like that. And then same thing. Bring this out, rotate it around, and collapse it up into the tread like that. Like so. And right here at the front here, what you want to do is then go ahead and bring, at this hinge, bring this, before you get to the hinge, you want to bring these bits forward right here, then rotate that around underneath, and then at this hinge, you want to bring this up like this, and bring that, and then bring this down. That's what I was thinking. I was like confusing myself for a second, bring it up like that, so it looks like this, right? And you go ahead and bring these around, and these tabs right here will go into little slots on the chest piece right here, like that. Make sure it's at the angle. There you go. Right at the chest piece like that. And you go ahead and get this out of the way a little bit, so you can then come down here and rotate at the waist 180, like that. Then down here at the legs, what you want to do is untab this piece right here, rotate at the knee like that, bring the foot forward, bring the tread back right like this, then bring the foot back like this, and then bring this down over top like that. And then you want to bring this forward right here, and then bring the leg out, and then untab it right here at the thigh, and bring it out like this. Bring it out like this, and this will kind of, there's a tab right here which will kind of hook into a slot on the thigh piece like that. So it's going to look more or less like this. That's all said and done. So same thing on this side. Bring this piece out, rotate it around at the knee, tilt the foot forward, bring this back, tilt the foot in here like this, bring this back down like that, and then push that up all the way, bring out the thigh, untab it right here, and then bring it up, and then get that out of the way. And then bring it over top of that tab right there like that. So what we're going to do here is then to bring this back right here. Get those out of the way for a second. Yeah, bring this down right here like that. Then bring this down. These tabs right here will go in little slots right. Yeah, see these tabs right here? We'll go to little slots right there like that, holding those and basically holding this all in place. Like so, and making sure, you know, those all tab together like that. Then this right here, this tab right here will go in that slot right there, and these tabs right here will go in those slots right. And this tab right here will go in that slot right there, and those tabs right there will go in those slots right there. So bring this down, this will tab in right there, like that. Like there, like that. Make sure to keep the arms out of the way, and then yeah, those tail tab in right here in those plates. Like that. Bring them down like this and bring this down a little bit. Now, from here, what you want to do is take the cannon. I'm going to take the arm cannon thing, and you want to open it up. I'm going to open this up right here. Open it up and extend it forward like that. And you want to go ahead and bring this bit back right here like that. You know, they'll collapse in like there, and then right here you want to take this, the little shoulder cannon piece, and flip the peg down, and this will peg in the front with this little bit at the top, so it'll look like that, right? And then this part right here, you take this peg right here, and this will go into one of the two shoulder pegs like that, and then you collapse that in. See, this will collapse down right here like that, and this will collapse over, and this peg will make that peg whole right here, and that will form the turret. Yeah, that's this, by the way. Yes, this is the only bit where it pegs in is right there. And you want to take this piece and right here and bring it, rotate it around right here like this, and bring it up like that. And this piece right here, you want to go ahead and flip it forward like that. And there you go. That is the fallen Megatronus in his vehicle mode. It's actually overall really, it's a really clever transformation overall. There's only one thing I don't like, which is the gun turret does simply only pegs in the back, and it feels like there, there's like weird slots and stuff here. I feel like there could have been like more done, like some shaping here to cause it to, tab in at the front here. Unfortunately, because of that, the turret's a little messy, but other than that, it's a really good looking tank, and honestly, it's really fun getting to said tank. It's just generally a really good transformation overall. Another thing maybe is just simply getting it to line up perfectly for so it sits on the ground properly is a bit of a pain sometimes too, but generally it's a really good looking tank. I mean, again, it's got pretty much the same color scheme, but the purple and stuff on the gun barrel and everything, it just looks really good. On the head kind of hides, I mean the head's right there, but hides away pretty decently, and I think it just generally looks good. It's got a lot of pegs and everything on it. It does actually have wheels, so it does actually roll decently, although again, ground clearance is a bit of an issue. Small one, but bit of an issue. Just be mindful of that. But it does roll, although I think on mine there's be some, there's a little feel, there's definitely some sprue mark stuff on the wheel, so it does roll pretty decently. The turret, of course, can rotate side to side. Actually do a full 360, which is nice. I guess you could do that. You could rotate it up right there, the whole thing like that, or you can just the gun by itself. Either way, So yeah, that's pretty good as a whole. Yeah, it feels like they tell you to move this out too, which is interesting. They tell you to move this peg out, but like it doesn't peg into anything. I thought it was like to peg into something, but it doesn't seem to do that. It just kind of does nothing. But yeah, that's what they tell you to do. So okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Now, as for all the accessories, right? All this stuff, there is a place to do all this stuff. So first thing is get this straightened out for one. Right here, what you want to do is plug these on kind of like that. These plug on, on the top right here like this, like so. And then with this stuff, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to plug these together that. And then on the sides here, you're supposed to, yeah, there's peg holes right here, so you're supposed to plug these in like so, like that. And then this right here is supposed to peg in to the side, I believe, like this, like that. Yeah, it's supposed to do that basically. That's your storage, which works again. But the good news is, because there's so many peg holes here, there's plenty of places to put all this stuff if you want. You know, you can have, I guess, little spits of fire coming out of the right here like that if you want. You can have fire coming out of that, or on the sides, or whatever you want. There's a lot of things you can do here if you want. So yeah, but again, of course, the thing again, as again, like I said, these are rubbery plastic, so be careful. And again, this is rubbery plastic, so I'm sure this wouldn't surprise me eventually this fuses to this thing, which in the end, that's where it's supposed to be. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if eventually this thing that just fuses to that. But we'll see in the future. Yeah, overall, this tank is, my only real complaint about the tank mode is simply the turret doesn't like lock, like doesn't tab in super securely, or there's only 2 pegs holding it together. It's not super tight or anything. So yeah, that's my only real complaint. Other than that, it's a really fun and inventive transformation. And I was like wondering how it got to there, and it's like, wow, this is, yeah, it's just really fun transformation overall. I think it works really well, and it's really good. And then for the most part, it's a generally good-looking tank as well, in my opinion. So, some comparison stuff. I'm just going to compare the primes. And here's Primer Prime and Vector Prime. Right there. I'm not going to show his power of the Prime self, because that's just silly at this point. You already saw how small they are. Yeah, there's the vehicle modes of those guys, so there you go on that front. So yeah, that's Megatronus as a whole. Fantastic looking robot mode. Fun transformation. Alt mode looks great. My only complaint there is, the only real complaint I have about the whole set is simply, well, the flame effects are made of the rubbery plastic, so there's a good chance of those melting plastic and or paint. And also the turret piece kind of just, there's not really a whole lot connecting it to the, you know, the gun barrels, not a whole lot connecting to the rest of the turret, so it kind of gets out of alignment really easily, or comes apart really easily. But other than that, it's a really fun transformation. And also there's also a whole thing about the thighs. The thighs might break on some people, but that is easy to remedy. But you have to kind of take a gamble first, so that's fun. But overall, of the primes I have, the 3 I have, including the, you know, Vector Prime from the last line, he's the best prime we've gotten of the 13 primes, I guess. I guess even though Optimus is, yeah. Optimus is kind of the 13th. Yeah, the whole thing, but I'm just waiting for Star Optimus for that one. But yeah, regardless of the prime, the dedicated primes we've gotten so far, this is the best one I've gotten. I don't have Solus yet, but she's on the way, so we'll see about that. But he's fun. I think I highly recommend getting him. The only thing is, yeah, just those warnings I gave you, that the flames, the gun turret, and the thighs. Other than that, he is fantastic and fun, and he's just good. And I highly recommend him. Prime just kind of comparatively, but yeah, this guy's really great. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. Hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my social media down in the description and at the end of the video. Check out my coffee, my Patreon, and I'll see you next time with another video review.